Hello everyone. Let's talk about management of subcapsular fibrosis in cataract surgery. What comes to your mind when you see this? Rex is not possible in this case. Opening in capsular bag is either with scissors or with vitrectomy cutter, and then you do SICS. But what about this case? And this one? And this one? So in these cases, is Rex is possible? Is phacoemulsification possible? Well, yes, it is possible. So let me take you all through the journey of these three cases where I have managed the subcapsular fibrosis, and I will discuss each three cases one by one. So in my first case of hypermature cataract with subcapsular fibrosis, we all can see that there is fibrosis which is present in the center and the nasal portion of the eye. So when I start with my case after staining the capsule, I keep in mind that I have to make a rhexis which will go well beyond the fibrous area of this particular lens. After repeatedly injecting the viscoelastic in the bag, I continue to do my rhexis, and my rhexis margin is beyond the fibrous tissue which is seen in the center. So as far as superior and the temporal portion of the rhexis is concerned, it was very smooth and it was going well within the expected margin. As we approach the nasal side, as we see the fibrous band is little bit densely adherent to the capsule, and as I'm pulling it, my capsule is also running to the periphery. I finally pulled the fibrous band from the opposite side and took it out. The remaining portion of the capsular tag which is there, it is pulled out with the help of the Utrata forceps, and I achieved my curvilinear rhexis. So after doing phacoemulsification and intraocular implantation, this is the final result in this patient, and he's doing very well. Coming to the next case, wherein 28-year-old male who had undergone RD surgery came with near mature cataract and subcapsular fibrosis. As we can see, there is also capsular wrinkling which is present. So when I start with my rhexis and approach the area where the capsular wrinkling is present, there is adhesion present between the fibrous tissue and the capsule. So it is very important at this stage to dissect this particular area with the help of the viscoelastic substance, or dissect manually with any spatulated or the blunt dissector. So repeatedly the viscoelastic substance was injected wherever there was adhesion between the capsule and the fibrous tissue was denser. So once I have completed my rhexis, I held the fibrous tissue and started applying a traction towards the opposite side. So one has to keep in mind that at no point of time there should be over traction of this tissue, and there should not be any compromise on the zonules of the eye, and therefore it is mandatory to repeatedly use viscoelastic, inject in the bag and create a space between the capsule and the fibrous tissue. As you can see here, I am putting my cannula below the anterior capsule, injecting viscoelastic, and then trying to separate the adhesion between the fibrous tissue and the capsule. So I do the same thing on the opposite side. So it is of utmost importance to first create a space between the anterior capsule and the fibrous tissue and assess the areas of the attachments which are still left behind. Once we are confident enough to start applying the traction, we should hold it with the help of the capsular holding forceps and start pulling in a tangential manner so that the stress on the zonule is as minimum as possible. So this is the rhexis margin which can be seen after doing the phacoemulsification. This is the final result. So coming to my final case, wherein this female came with phacolytic glaucoma in a Morgagnian cataract. So first of all, I have washed away the exudates which were present in the anterior chamber. So after staining the capsule, we all can see the fibrous band which is present in the entire central portion. Since there is no capsular wrinkling, and there is the fibrous tissue present in the center is not so dense, and it is not a very chronic case. Therefore, it is expected that the capsular margins will not be densely adhered to the fibrous tissue beneath. So the rhexis in this case was very much easier and continuous. So the fibrous tissue on the nasal side was not very densely adhered to the capsule, therefore it could be easily detached with the help of the viscoelastic and the viscocannula. More challenging was to deal with this temporal thicker fibrous sheet, and which is more densely adhered to the capsule. So I needed a situation where I could hold this fibrous sheet with some instrument and do dissection at the same time. So one has to be very patient and dissect the tissue with the help of the cannula or a blunt dissector, which I am doing in this case. The multiple point attachments which were there, they were easily maneuvered with the help of the cannula itself, and there was a space created between the anterior capsule and the fibrous sheet. At this time I needed an instrument which will hold this fibrous sheet consistently in one position so that I can maneuver. So before resorting to any other instrument, I thought of using phaco probe with the vacuum setting of 350 mm of mercury, where it will hold the tissue consistently to one position so that I could dissect the fibrous tissue with the help of the Sinskey hook around the phaco tip. So as we can see, the phaco probe is holding the fibrous tissue, and while I am pulling it slightly in the central portion, with the help of this Sinskey hook, I twist it around and it is aspirated well. So finally the phacoemulsification was done and the intraocular lens was implanted in this case. This is the final result of this lady having a vision of 6 to 11 and 8. So while we have discussed all these three cases of managing the subcapsular fibrosis, one has to really keep in mind that one has to be very patient in doing the dissections of the fibrous tissue and detaching them from the anterior capsule, and at the same time one has to assess the zonular stability and the chronicity of the case, wherein there can be capsular contracture or there can be capsular wrinkling. So one has to choose their cases very wisely. So my take home point will be to see the stability of the lens bag and zonular severity and extent of fibrosis. You can always give it a try in your skillful hands. Thank you so much for your patient hearing.